Man, today is something great. We're going to talk about why you should do CrossFit 7 days a week. And I'm lying. But for real, we're going to talk about your physical health as a man in a world that demands everything else from you and how you can give and take. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Kingsman podcast. I'm Micah Hickman. It's my good friend, Todd Goodwin. And we're going to continue on health, the three facets. Okay, we talked about mental health, which is a really good one. I enjoy that one. Today, I really want to talk about physical health. There's a big push for it, to be, especially over the last 5, 6, 7 years, eat this, take this supplement, blue iodide, don't do this. So I don't have time for that, dude. I've got 5 games a night, every night. You got to work. You got to provide. You also have to be a husband. Date your wife.
Absolutely.
Not
his wife.
Not my wife. Yours. Yeah, that's right. But where do we even start with that? What are we talking about? Physical health.
First of all, you will make time for what's important to you.
Correct.
And you go, no, I'm so busy. Then I know. I've been there. I know what it's like. You just running from here, that's pillar to post, they say.
That's right.
So you got to make time for what's important to you.
Right.
When I was in my 20s, I would run all the time. I was running everywhere I went. I mean, literally running physically in my job, and I would run just to run. And people would tell me,
they didn't have wheels then, right?
And they had wheels. I'm not that old. Anyway, and people will say, if you keep doing what you're doing, by the time you're 60, your knees are going to be hurting you. They were right. I didn't listen because, why? Because I was 30. I could do anything. I was invincible. And to a certain degree, all men feel like they're invincible. You remember when you were 18?
Yes.
You felt like you were physically invincible.
Yes.
You could do anything.
And then I had butted Allen and found out you, in fact, cannot
Do everything.
do everything.
But see, here's the reason I'm saying that. I think it's so important for our physical health to be good and to be healthy, because there's things that God wants us to do as a father, as a husband, as a member of the of society. But if we're not healthy, we can't do those things.
I mean, which soldier would you want to go to war with?
Exactly. I want a healthy one. I want one that's strong. I want one that's going to be able to be able to take on the task and last.
That's right.
And you can't do that when you're physically not able to do it.
That's right. Because, I mean, I think, what do they say in the Bible? It talks about, banding, brothers banding together, carry each other's burdens, one man to another. Okay. And I'm not talking about physical stature of anyone, but there has to be, like, case in point, I was bragging on Josh Kiros to somebody a couple days ago. I mean, the dude runs unbelievably long distances, like just crazy long
Yeah, he recently
distances.
ran a marathon.
I mean, that's awesome. Dude is a grinder. Physically, he's not what you would imagine as a meathead, which is what, I grew up with in football. You're bulking up, you're doing, it was all about
You
bulk
look healthy.
for strength and physical, because you really needed all that bulk, right? His strength, is a little bit different, just like swimmers and others. So we're not talking about stature. That's somebody I would grind with, because I've seen him mentally push his physical limits to the edge and then say, I'm going to go a little bit longer. All right.
But what's the purpose behind all this? What's the purpose of being healthy? I'm not talking about being strong. I'm not talking about having pretty muscles.
Because life comes. What does the Bible say? The rains come on the just and
the
unjust alike. Life comes, period. All right. Men, we're known not to have best friends, right? We're known now. Some do, but really it's just one or two. You have a dot of trust, right? You got like that. You don't have a circle like, the other
Or your circle's
species
small.
does. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you have a dot of one or two men, they're not going to be substature. I'm going to be men like Zach Collier's in my dot. Man, he could be exhausted and I can call him, what do you need?
Yeah, he's there for you.
He's there, and he helps maybe carry one of my, like, it's You have to be physically strong to carry a mental burden with somebody. It's exhausting. Okay. But if you're going to be a man of integrity, a man of God, somebody I feel like that one day God will say, you did what you could with what I gave you, which I think would be the ultimate honor, realistically. I feel part of that is physically, you got to be able to handle it.
Yeah. Well, let me just throw this out at you. Paul said that our physical exercise profits little. It profits us little.
So I would say that's 3 of the 3.
One of the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying that because a lot of people use that going, well, Todd, you want to be healthy because you want to look a certain way. And I said earlier about having pretty muscles. There's some guys that they look healthy, they have pretty muscles. I heard a comedian say that, and he got up and he said, "All right, ladies, calm down. I'm not strong. I have pretty muscles. So I work out to look good."
Museum
and the thing is I know people that work out to look good, but they're not healthy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're not healthy at all. They don't eat good. They don't really truly exercise so that their body can have tenacity and can have where I can go the distance. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people don't do that. They look good and people think, oh, they must be healthy. And we don't want to look good. Mm-hmm. We want to be healthy.
So, let's go back to grade school. This is going to be fun. Mm-hmm. All right. What's the powerhouse of the cell?
The powerhouse of the what?
The cell. It's an M word, mitochondria. All right, what does it feed off of? Protein.
Of the cell. I thought you said S-E-L-L. You're talking about C-E-L-L.
Yeah,
okay. Cell. Okay, okay.
Cell.
You said
your
fine.
cells. All right, so protein. Well, you've got to physically give your body sustenance. Now, I'm just as guilty. Look, eating in my family is a social event.
It's entertainment.
It is.
And that's what we've turned it into in America. And it is fun.
I love it. I love it. All the brothers and their crazy kids, they all come. It's mass chaos. You don't know who do you belong to? Just sit down. Hang on. I'll get your mom in it. You know what I'm saying? It's great. All right. But there is a Mendoza line. And like my mom makes the best pound cake of all time. It's the greatest pound cake I've ever eaten, ever.
Doesn't it mean a pound of this, a pound of that?
Yes.
That's why they call it a pound?
Phenomenal. Okay. It's dense and moist, and it's great. Okay, well, as I've gotten older, I noticed, I'll eat a piece, a healthy piece, and afterwards, man, I got heartburn. I don't even know what causes heartburn. And then, hey, maybe I'll have ice cream at lunch, or maybe even if I've got ice cream at home, a second ice cream. I love ice cream. It's, hereditary. Dad made me do it.
Well, matter of fact, I got to be upfront about everything. Right in the next room, right next to us, we have a soft serve ice cream machine.
Let's go.
Somebody gave it to us. I got the mix. I've had 3 ice cream cones in the last 2 days. Yes, it was wrong. And here's the thing. My point being, though, I don't do that all the time.
Right.
That's not something normal.
If you do that all the time, all right, and I'm going into the physical realm. Okay, so sleep is when it was affecting me. I'd lay down and I'd wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning, and it's like lava's playing peekaboo with my esophagus. It's terrible. Affects my sleep. I stay up all night. I can't sleep good. I'm miserable the next 2 days. And all this other stuff until finally, what I had to realize was what I'm eating, my body just can't handle anymore. I don't know. I don't get it.
But you also got to pay attention to the food itself.
Yeah.
And that's a podcast for another time.
Yeah. But if it affects my sleep, then I physically cannot do or be who I need to be, what I need to be for that day, whether it's, answer all the problems,
If you're physically exhausted, that's going to make you mentally exhausted. If you're physically and mentally exhausted, it's going to affect your spirit.
That's right.
Now, it should be the other way around, where I'm walking spiritually well, which means I'm going to walk mentally well, which means I'm going to walk physically well.
That's right.
It should be that way. But unfortunately, it's the other way around. Our physical affects our mental affects our spiritual.
And if you are exhausted, and I'm in that boat with this, where I'm trying to find you cannot burn the candle rapidly at both ends. For now, there's seasons, okay? And I struggle with, okay, I used to do CrossFit when I worked at Poplarville. It's probably the healthiest I've been at as an adult.
And how old were you?
I really,
20s?
no,
Because you're 38?
37. All right. I think I did, that was what, 6 years. So I think 33, 30, low 30s. Okay. And Evan Style was running. He pestered me. And finally I got in it and I did. I would go 3 days a week, 45 minutes. Loved it. Loved the intensity. I love to compete again. God, I love to compete. And then when I blew my knee out a third time, okay, we don't do CrossFit anymore. That's out of because there's no third knee or fourth knee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Then it's knee replacement.
that's right.
And you don't want knee replacement
Not
at
it-
37 years old.
Yeah, no. So then, but I still can't burn to where I'm physically just exhausted, to where mentally I'm just kind of, you answer questions on autopilot. Men know what that is. Women can't comprehend that. Like, we've got an autopilot box where it's like, kind of. I think so. Or to your kids, maybe. You know what I'm
We'll
saying?
see.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the one. We'll see. But that comes from just being so physically exhausted. Now, there's seasons. But where do we say, okay,
That's enough.
how I'm going, like right now, I just don't, there's nowhere in my schedule to fit an hour of workout. Like if I wanted to go, are we talking about working out at the gym? Is that physically? Is that what we're meaning? Or are we talking about physical care of our body so that spiritually and mentally,
Yes and no.
okay?
I say yes and no because, if you can afford to take 45 minutes a day, go work out. If you can afford to have 45 minutes to spend in a quiet time, go have quiet time. So we're taking everything else, the other 16 hours of the day,
Yep.
and we're working.
Yes.
Or we're playing.
Yes.
And we're doing things that we say are important. That's where I think we need to, in our 45 minutes of quiet time, ask the Lord about what's important for this season in my life. Now, I've always
that's
worked
good.
out, but for about 4 years of my life. And of those 4 years, I got up to, I know what you're thinking when I say it. You're like, oh my gosh, I got up to 190 pounds. From my stature, 5'8" and a half, not a good look. And I saw myself in the picture. I went, nope, that's it. I just stopped eating. I'm like, I'm losing it. I'm getting back down. So I'm usually about 170. For my stature, not too bad. I want to be about 155. My wife says, no, you look like you're dying.
Scarecrow.
Yeah. So I'm okay. But here's my point is that you better make time, whether it's at the house to work out. I mean, like the other day, this week we had the Worship and Prophetic Conference. Well, I haven't really had a lot of time to work out.
No.
So when they were doing the prophecies and stuff, and I knew it was one of them they're going to talk long or during the sermon, I was in the studio doing push-ups. And you're like, what? Yeah, because I'm like, I haven't had time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got time. I'm just sitting there waiting on them. I can hear them. I'm not doing the camera. All I'm doing is audio. So I started doing push-ups. And then I started doing some abs while I was in there just because I found the time because it's important to me.
Yeah.
And people go, it's important to you, but you're not doing it. So don't tell me it's important to you if you're not making time for it.
Yeah.
The only person you're fooling is yourself.
Well, I think it's important. I think it needs to be important, and it's become a little bit more important because as Dad has aged a little bit,
He's just a year
because
behind me.
he's always been Superman, right? He's always, it didn't matter, irregardless. He's all big hands, strong, broad shoulders, could lift anything, do anything, could catch me until I was 30 type thing, But as he's aged a little bit and slowed, and then with, he'll say stuff like, Tish didn't die well. Papa didn't, or not
Because
die well, excuse me. They didn't finish well. And he said, me
weren't
and
real
Amy,
healthy.
that's right. Neither of them. Tish had diabetes, didn't take care of herself. Pops with his weight, just didn't end well. Same thing with my grandmother and grandfather, same thing. It's starting to kind of resonate a little. Okay, so when do you start trying to decide I'm going to finish well? Because look,
At 20.
them daughter-in-laws,
That's when you decide at
that
20
dad
years
mom
old.
prayed for, them things are cats after dad now. Pops, you got grandkids you got to be here for.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. I mean, he's got 22. Like, what we doing? You got to get moving. Let's put a swim program on. Let's do. And so if I completely burn out now, I still have a purpose. Dad still has a purpose, to carry on and to teach and to carry the legacy and pass it down and plant the roots of remember what your last name is. Now, it's my job to build it.
Here's the thing is, not a lot of people, that doesn't resonate with a lot of people, your last name. So, because a lot of people go, I don't like my dad. My dad was a jerk.
Yeah.
My mom was an alcoholic, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going, okay, not just what your last name is, who God called you to be.
That's right. That's right.
You're part of the Hickman family, and that's a great legacy.
That is.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I do too. But ultimately, as followers of Jesus Christ, we have a responsibility to carry on his legacy.
That's right.
He poured that into us. But if we physically can't do that because we're unhealthy, because everything is normal around us, everybody's overweight, and I've found this to be true, is that people will gravitate to the crowd. Whatever the crowd is doing, you've been doing it since high school. And you're right, it is easier, but it's not worth it.
That's right.
It's not worth it in the long run. I work out not because it became popular. Because when I was working out, it wasn't popular. Nobody was doing it. Aerobics was huge back in the 80s. What was her name? Jane Fonda and all that stuff.
God,
it was
in
cool
those
then.
videos,
You look back now, you're going, oh dear God, it's horrible. But I'm not saying you shouldn't focus on mental or spiritual. Yes, I'm simply saying you can't do that when you're physically exhausted.
Yeah.
Because you won't get up early.
That's right.
You won't do what you need to do because you can't.
That is one of my struggles currently, personally, is I want to get up earlier before everybody and start my day. I do. I want to. And there's
But want ain't good enough.
That's right. You want all you want to, baby, but it ain't happening. But I am so, like, by the time everything's done, and I like decompressing for an hour or two, 2 hours after the kids go to bed, 8:15, 8:30, they're in bed. That's it. That's me and Emily time, for a couple hours, whatever, whether we watch a movie or what. By the time I go to sleep, though, I'm in 3 different types of realms. I'm so tired, right? Just, whew. And when the alarm comes up, I'm like, oh, God. And what, go to bed earlier. Okay, yep, that's right. I should, probably. But there's got to be something to where, especially with some of our listeners who work physically with their bodies, whether it be, labor intensive, oil field, like, man, if you're a roughneck, I'm not going to the gym. I gym it every day or every 2 weeks,
But you still need to eat healthy.
There it is. It's a facet of, it's not just workout. It's what food am I putting in? All right. Does it have a purpose? And I hate saying that because I love food. I'm not the food Nazi.
Because in the United States, advertisement and food people, they have made food an entertainment. I eat for the entertainment of that.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I've had people look me in the eye and tell me, I like food because it's an entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's how I entertain myself. I'm like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat, but I am saying that what you're eating is not good for your body. Yeah. I'm not saying that we have to always eat oats and eat twigs
we're not
and dirt and
crazy stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, like, myself personally, like what I've done is I've cut sugars out.
Well, that was my first thing to go.
I've got to, because I have a sweet tooth.
Oh, I love me some sugar,
dude.
That's why I ate 3 ice cream.
Yes, ice cream, good. I want the good stuff too. I don't want the cheap stuff. Like I want the stuff that's got like 4,000 calories in a bite, like the good. But what I found, especially like with the couple of surgeries in my knee, the more sugar I have in my diet, my knee hurts all day. And look, part of being a man is you have a certain pain threshold.
Yeah.
Where the
with
stupidest
it.
question I've ever heard in my life, scale of 1 to 10, how bad does it hurt? I don't know. I go to work every day, get my job done. I smile, play with my kids.
I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, I just know it hurts.
I push through it.
Yeah, it's there, But what I've noticed is the less sugar that's in the diet, the cleaner I eat, the less I hurt. Now, inflammation in your body is a huge thing. Huge thing. And I'm not saying, there's a young kid that I've been talking about that he's sick. He works with me, super good worker, but man, he's sickly because how much water did you drink? Well, I had a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I had two of those.
Water.
I said, water.
Yeah.
How much?
I'm guilty.
A couple of gulps. I'm like, couple of gulps? I would die. Of course, I sweat a lot.
Because physically. Your job requires that.
I sweat a lot. And he does too. I'm like, Ethan, what'd you eat for lunch?
But he's old. 22, 23.
22. But now he's starting to notice if he eats a good breakfast, he works better. He drinks a whole thing of water before he comes to work. Okay. And he hadn't missed because of being sick 2 or 3 days in 4 or 5 months.
So because he's healthy, he's able to do what he needs to do.
And one
the
may
responsibility.
Call it, some people may say, you think that's healthy? And I agree. That's not the health standard. I'm just saying, set a goal or a standard. My goal is I just got to cut sweets out. And it's hard. Do I binge? Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
They had somebody that he's been around my family for a lot. White chocolate bread pudding that's homemade. And it is the best stuff you've ever put in your mouth.
What's that?
Patrick.
Oh, Patrick. Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
And he's a New Orleans chef.
Game changer in your
New Orleans
life.
got some of the best food in the world. Not healthiest food in the world, but the best food in the world. Best tasting food.
Did I have a bowl? Yes, I did. Did I feel bad about it? No. It's phenomenal. I get it one time a year, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. But there's give and take. But as a whole, I'm cutting this out because I just can't deal with the inflammation. With everything else, you're going to have stressors at your work. Your wife is going to push your buttons like the nuclear launch code. She's going to say, which one will have a go off today? If you are, not my wife.
We got to pray for Mike.
But if you got that going on, and then if you've got young kids that are always, Dad, can I, will you, come do this? Can we do this? I'm coaching 3 games, getting phone calls. If I am mentally getting vexed and bending and physically I'm just at the breaking point, there's no peace at my house. There's no peace in my life. And what did God say? I give you my peace. My peace. He didn't promise happiness.
That's right.
Never promised.
Now, can you be happy?
Yes.
Happy comes from the word happenings. And for our happenings are good, we're happy. But joy is something that's internal, that only comes from God, no matter what my circumstances are. Jesus was on a boat in the middle of a storm, taking a nap. Everybody else was screaming and hollering, and they got upset because Jesus was sleeping.
That's
Jesus
peace. That's peace.
What's the problem?
That's peace.
What's the problem?
Well, I mean, and what does he say? From the what you minister? The overflow. I don't have any overflow physically currently. I'm talking about myself currently. We're trying, me and Emily laugh. Hey, we endeavor to persevere right now. It's a season in our life. It won't be like that forever. And I'm trying to enjoy it, but I also recognize whoo.
It's tough. Life can be tough. But here's the thing is, like the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, they are functioning together. One affects the other, affects the other, affects the other, affects the other. So this is how we were created in God's image, and that we were a triune being, spirit, soul, and body. Our spirit is affecting our soul, well, that is our mind, will, and emotions, and our soul is affecting our body is affecting our spirit is affecting, so forth and so on. We're complementing each other, so one can't be, well, my spirit's more healthy than my body.
Yeah.
But what good is have a good spirit if I physically can't do,
That's right.
or I mentally can't comprehend or be able to deal with certain things because I'm not healthy mentally, I'm not healthy physically, I'm not healthy spiritually. I've got to be healthy in all the realms because each realm affects the other.
So I would, like, here's what I started in the mornings. Because again, and this is going to be so minuscule, it's so minute, it's almost comical. All right. But I go back, like, I know the less I work out, so the less I work out on my leg, especially my knee, the left one, the more I have loose tendons. And that's part of why it kind of rolls or whatever, no matter how many surgeries, right? Okay, great. So what benefits it? A strong quad, a strong hamstring. What are you doing about it? Surviving. No. So what did I started going through the old rehabs again, where I'm sitting on the chair and I just hold the quad. And then in the mornings, where my bathtub is, it steps up and I'll take my left knee. I'll do 3 sets of 20 step ups, right leg, 3 steps. And then I'll do like squats, go all the way down, 3 sets of 20.
That's what I'm saying. You're making time for what's important to you.
It's not much, but I realized the other day, I was catching for Seth. He was pitching, and we were at the ball field, and I squatted down normally, and I just kind of shifted just a little bit, and my knee, and so I stood, very painful. You can't yell in front of your kid, right? Because nothing hurts.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm a man.
Yeah, I'm a man. I'm 40. There is no pain. However, you got to stand up, push your leg, and like push, and it pops back in. It does not feel good at all. I'm like, dude, if I don't do something.
But what if you weren't doing the exercise that you were doing?
Well, then I would not be able. Wyatt's coming up. He's 6. Who's going to catch for him? What's my job number 1? Husband, right? I've got to make sure she's successful. God gave me those children. They are a gift. He intended me to have those kids and to grow and to be a part of their lives. Who's going to catch for them? If I can't at 42 squat down and catch baseballs for a little bit because my knee's going to go boom, that ain't their fault.
No.
That's not doing what God intended me to do.
That's the thing is that what we don't realize is that our health doesn't just impact us. It impacts other people. I could not, what I've done in the last 3 years with this building, I don't think physically I could have done it if I wasn't healthy.
I would agree with that.
Because I was doing things and I'm like, Lord, I'm too tired to do this.
I'm too
God's
old
going,
to
all right, let's go. Come on. So I'm like, thank you, Lord, that for such a time as this,
That's right.
You had me doing things before I needed them. That's one of the things that most of us don't realize. We think that, okay, I need it now, so Lord, I need your help. Whoa. It was 3 years ago, God was saying, hey, you need to start doing this. You can't see the future. You don't know everything that's going to happen. So if God's speaking to you to get healthy, I'm telling you, as a man, you need to get healthy. Yeah. Quit making the excuses. I'm too old, or I can't do this because of this. It's an excuse. And yes, there's plenty of reasons out there. There's plenty of doctors. There's plenty of other people that's going to give you a reason why you don't work out or why you can't do this, because you're going to find them. Because if you are looking for them, I promise you'll find them. So, but here's what I'm saying is that, just like Micah, you were doing some small things at the house to help your knee.
That's right.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
That's right.
Making it important to you. If it's important, you're going to find a way. I'm in the back doing push-ups during a preaching sermon because nobody's in there in the studio, just me.
I thought you were about to, because nobody's listening to that. It's not.
No, I wasn't. No, they weren't. I'm in the studio by myself. Nobody else is in there. So I'm just doing the push-ups, just because I have opportunity. I have time. I didn't have time during the day, but I have time now. That's what I'm saying. If it's important to you, you'll think about it, which goes back to the mental health. I don't want to get into that. And you'll do whatever's necessary, just like you do what's necessary to make sure your daughter has your time.
That's right.
Your wife, because they're important to you.
Correct.
And then people go, well, they are important. I really want to, but I hate big buts. When people say, but, no, quit saying but. Quit saying but. I can tell you right now, I have no regrets of my children. I was there when my children were growing up, and I was physically able to do what they needed when they were young.
That's right.
And I know a lot of people that was my age, I can't do it because they had diabetes, they were overweight, they had all kind of different diseases because of not being healthy, not eating right, not exercising, not being mentally fit, not being spiritually fit.
Well, and it goes, look, mentally fit is hand in hand with physical fitness. Like you grow your mental fitness when because it's, you got to be strong mental, people, but realistically, when you tell, no, I'm going to do this. And then all of a sudden you do it. You're like, I told you we can do it. Who'd you tell? Me? People think you're crazy, and it's simple stuff like when I take the stairs at work, my office is upstairs. I try to explode 2 or 3 stairs and the ladies that
What do you mean explode? Just
like
them up
jump,
steps.
like run and jump and skip 3 steps. All right. Now it's not too high. I mean, there's 30 stairs, but I go up them and down them and up them and down them. Okay. Well, you do that 10 or 15 times, which I do just about every day. You get a pretty good work, cardio and the leg thing. All right. So, and that's a big thing for me. And do I have to do that? No. They laugh at me. They're like, you and your spaz and just ADA, you can't. I'm like, yeah. No, I'm choosing to do that. I don't want to. I choose to do that because I know
I need to.
And that might be for the day the only time that I'm really kind of pushing some type of explosive work. That's all it is. I'm not declaring that I'm going to CrossFit, and there's nothing wrong with CrossFit.
No,
I personally
it's not.
like it. There's nothing wrong. Like there's a guy we work with, his lunchtime is gym time. I love that, but I sweat.
My lunchtime is my lunchtime.
I sweat, and then I stink. And I'm not, they don't correlate well with what I do. You can't close deals when you smell to high heaven. Yeah, it's like, don't worry about it, And so, but I think it's taking little things. I don't want to get up at 4 in the morning and work out. I'm not going to. I'm just not. That would be the only time I have. And I'm not going to go to sleep at 8 to do that. I used to drive to work at 4:15 in the morning with Seth for about 3 years. That was not fun. Because, son, 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I got to be up a little bit longer than that. It's just the way it is. I'm not getting up at 4. I don't have to, but maybe I can get up 6 and do a little 30-minute thing where I know what, 30 minutes, I can work you pretty hard. All right. And that's what needs to happen. And I'm not talking about be a fitness freak.
Yeah.
Range of motion in your hips, in your knees, in your shoulder, in your back. Me and Zach laugh all the time because, dude, I love playing golf. Y'all should play golf. It's great. Get a hobby. Play golf. That's physical.
I can't do golf.
Because
I'm afraid I would cuss too much.
That's right. Well, it is. That's why
everybody says golf will bring the true person out.
Men love problems, right? Well, it's a different problem every shot. It's great. You get to solve a problem every shot, right? So, but the thing is, I could swing a certain way, and it requires your lower back and your hips to torque a certain. Well, when I was younger, man, I could torque, and my hands would catch up. And what I've noticed, I was talking to Jacob, and he was laughing. I was like, Jacob, do you feel like hole 14, 15 on the back? Like, I just struggle to get in that slot. Like, my back is down. He was like, dude, I don't think I could get in anymore. I was like, I refuse to accept that.
What's Jacob, 34?
34. But it just started like this year. I'm like, I can't make my body turn. Like, what's going on? Okay, well, you know what I started doing? I started stretching and doing like some back limber and stuff like I was in high school a little bit. Not as limber. Why? It's important to me that I be able to swing because I want to teach, just like my dad did me. I want to teach Adeline, Seth, Wyatt how to play golf to be able to have something that we can all do together for the rest of our lives.
And not just tell them how to do it, Show them how to do it.
Be there with them and experience. That's what God created family for. That's the first thing He created.
I'm glad you brought that. Let's talk a little bit about the culture right now of physical fitness in America, because like CrossFit, CrossFit is, I've noticed that it is not just about the exercise.
Yes,
they are coming together as a group. It's a lot of people, it's a family. They like that because they want that camaraderie.
Yes.
And a lot of times, and I don't have a problem with that. I think it's great. Me, I've never had anybody over my shoulder going, come on, Todd, you do this. I don't need that. Yeah. Other people do.
Yeah.
I've never needed it.
Yeah.
So I'm self-motivated. I see it, I go for it. Other people, they need that. And there's not a problem with that. I think that's good. And I think that's good and it's healthy in your relationships.
Agreed.
So, but have we turned that into a business to make money? Is it more about making the money, or is it more about people truly being healthy and coming together?
Yes to both. I know people personally who are in personal training of athletes, and they do it because they genuinely want people to be God, this is so shallow. It doesn't
just say
be better. To be better.
Better than what?
Better than what?
When you say better, that means you're comparing it to something.
They don't. The status quo is not. They're not okay with the status quo of we live our 30s, wreck our bodies as men. Then when you're 40 and 50, you're dealing with all the ailments. When that you can't really experience skiing with your children now that they're old enough to ski, or water ski, or whatever it is, or do experience. Now you need all these medical bills.
But
and
is
things.
that because
Part
it's about making money? But I'm saying they're going, okay, you have these problems. You go, I do. That's right. Oh, I need to go take this. I need to go take that.
It's a Ponzi scheme. I
don't think that. Matter of fact, I don't think. I absolutely know that my days are numbered.
100%.
And only God knows that.
That's right.
And I'm not trying to be healthy so I can live longer. I'm trying to be healthy so I can do what God's called me to do. And He has my days numbered.
That's right.
I want my quality of life to be the very best that it can be, so that it brings honor to God. It brings people closer to Him. And the reason I'm saying that is so many people are going, I'm trying to extend my years. You don't know that. George Burns was an actor back in the day. He smoked a cigar. He did all the everything that was not healthy, he did. And he lived to be 90, I think it was 95, 94 years old, doing that all the time.
Well, let's go there.
That was not healthy.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. And people go, well, that's what I want to do. But see, God had his days numbered.
That's right. You want to talk about days numbered? Billy Martin.
I know.
I love that man. The best thing that ever happened to my aunt. All right. Doctor got on him about his weight and some of his body and stuff. So for 4 years, he had lost weight. He was walking. He was January before he died, got his checkup, blood work, the healthiest he's ever been in 10 years.
Yep.
The healthiest. Blood looked cleaner than it ever. I mean, numbers are down. Good numbers are up. Doc said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, heart attack.
He told me
massive.
Before he went, and we were at a men's wild game dinner, and he goes, hey, I'm gonna go home early. I don't feel real good. That's okay. Not thinking ever.
Shook his hand. I said, where are you going? You leaving early, man? I'll pick up for you. And he said, man, I got a headache. I think I got some reflux. I don't feel real well. I'm going home.
Well, Josiah called me.
I said, all right, love you.
Later. And he goes, he didn't make it. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, Billy, Uncle Billy, because he didn't make it. I said, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know.
There was not a thought in my mind, because, me and Billy, good friend. Billy said he was my best friend.
Yes.
And I'm like, what?
I couldn't
I knew he worked out. I knew what he was doing. We used to eat ice cream together all the time, and we're like, no, we're not doing that anymore. He was a Blue Bell. He used to be a Blue Bell salesman and stuff. And I'm like, boom, that's what I'm saying. God's got your days numbered.
That's right.
The quality of life here is on us.
I agree with that.
We have to
I agree with that.
Be healthy physically so that we can be healthy mentally, so we can be healthy spiritually.
And I think it starts with just small things that you can keep. Nothing demoralizes me more than having the grander scheme of things, and you start off hot,
Oh, yeah.
and about a month or two later, it's just so unobtainable and so miserable trying to do it. You're like, dude, this sucks. Like
January in the
I'd
gym.
rather be miserable and fat and happy than miserable and skinny and miserable, and I can't keep up with what I'm supposed to. It's too much. It's too much effort. Just a little thing like, you know what? I'm not going to have anything sweet after dinner for the next 6 months. And just complete that. Just a little thing in your mind to show yourself, I can beat you. And
But
then
now you're using your own self-competition against yourself.
and it's
I'm going to do this.
It's a bad thing that I do.
That's a mental thing.
It is.
That's
It
why I
is.
say your physical and mental function together, so along with your spiritual.
But you have to physically be able to withstand. You know, it says Satan, he's going to come at you like a flood. With everything he's got, he's going to play the long game. And we've talked about this. That's the one thing I think I've realized later in life. He plays a really long game.
But here's what I would like to say about that scripture. You said, in the Bible says, when the enemy comes in like a flood, raise up a standard against him. But here's the thing is, when the enemy comes in, like a flood, raise up a standard against him. We
See,
raise up a standard.
Grammar.
So we go after him instead of him coming after us. A lot of times, well, I can't beat this, I can't do that. Well, no. Let's go back to the scripture. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world.
That's right.
For this purpose, the Son of God came to destroy the works of the evil one. So when the enemy comes in like a flood, I'm coming against him because of who he is. But I can't do that when I'm physically not able.
And physically, you have to be able to, yes, mentally, if I'm tired, David said, your word strengthens me. What did he mean? Physically, it gives me strength to stand. You have to be able to stand, though.
Spirit, soul, and body, all of it.
You have to. And so I think that's where, you know, and this is such a quasi quagmire because it's really hard to untwine the three, because you and I have talked, it really winds into each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about like go lift weights and go join a gym and go. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you feel yourself like I'm withering, I'm exhausted, I have no energy, I have no drive after work, I'm just zonked.
Pay attention.
What
Pay
did
attention.
you eat? What did you eat physically? What did we put in our body?
Mm-hmm.
How much water did you drink? If you're like, man, I don't drink enough water. Okay, carry around a 1 liter water bottle and say, I'm going to drink 3 a day for the next 3 months.
See, I'm
Just
not good at that.
Some small steps, because having a great relationship with God is number one. It's number one. But you have to physically be able to handle the demands that he's expecting of you.
Mm-hmm.
And he does expect demands of you as a man. And so if you're like, man, I just, small things, little itty bitty things that you can say in 3 months period, I'm going to do this for 3 months and then we'll reassess. That's it. I want to wake up at, 6 o'clock every morning for 3 months. And I'm going to do like in-home squats, push-ups, burpees.
You don't have to go to the gym. You can do it at home.
Just simple things. Or I'm going to eat this way for 3 months. Don't cut out all. See, I'm a goober. I got to cut everything out all at once. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing. Light switch on, light switch on.
Part of your personality.
It is. I can't not like, cold cut, everything's gone. And you struggle through it and your body just gets used to it. Don't do that. That's hard. Unless you're like me, then I feel for you. But no more bread after.
But here let me help you here real quick. We're not here to give diet recommendations.
No,
No. We're simply saying how important our physical health is.
Yes.
Along with our mental and our spiritual.
Yes.
One of the things that helped me was that in the I have an app on my phone. It's called Yuka. My nephew told me about it. It's
called who?
Yuka. It's Yuka. And what it does, I go in and I scan the barcode, and it tells me whether it's good for me or not. Cool. 100 being the best, zero being the worst.
Oh, yeah. Ricky uses that.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Ricky
yeah.
Rimkus.
Ricky,
Rimkus,
yeah.
So I go through and I just started looking at stuff, and most of what I in the gym, it's in the store. It's not good for us,
Bro, I'm gonna.
It's not at all.
I'm gonna treat that like childbirth.
But then there's other things. There's other things. I'm like, what? Brookshire original chili with beans, 90 out of 100.
Sign me
Good
up
for
with
me.
that.
I could not believe it. But then again, stuff that I thought was good for me, I'm like, yeah, this stuff's got to be good for me. Like maple sea salt granola. That's good for you.
Sounds phenomenal.
32.
That doesn't.
But here's the thing is, I started paying attention to what I eat. Instead of the TV, instead of the internet, and instead of my social media selling me something.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me how I'm to eat. I'm going to tell you what I want to eat.
That's right.
So, because we need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I could talk about this all day long. I would say, to wrap it up, it's not about being healthy so you can look good. Now, do I think that's
selfish. That's inward.
But I also think that's also, is it a good thing? Yeah, I want to look healthy.
Yeah.
I want to be. I can fit. These are 30 jeans I have on.
Dude, I want my wife to want me. I'm not gonna lie. I want
Thank you.
I want to walk around, like, get out of the shower and have a towel on her and be like, Sarah, where you going?
Yeah, I'm like,
I want that. What man doesn't?
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, it's not about having pretty muscles. It's simply being healthy, so we can do what God's called us. We can be the husband. We can be the father. We can be the employee. We can be a community person to be able to do the things that we need to do.
I agree.
So our next one, we're going to be talking about the spiritual side of it.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about that because I think that really, we've been trying to dance around it.
But so it's all intertwined.
It is.
And it's hard to ignore it.
It is.
You can't.
100%. And there's so much the Bible says about, like, what your spiritual and how it ministers to the mental, if you allow it to, which I think is the big missing link. Because a lot of people get the physical and they're like, I'm in.
And they'll get the soul.
A lot of people get the soul and they're like, I'm going to control my emotions. And they do a pretty good job of it. But man, that spiritual tap in has been a game changer, especially for me the last 7 or 8 years that I just...
Did that not help your marriage?
God. So, guys, thank y'all very much for staying. I hope you enjoy it. Comment, like, subscribe, share this. We've got lots of good clips out there. Go on the Facebook page, see your favorite clip. Send it to somebody. Let us know. Leave a comment. Let us know what you would like us to talk about, because we try to keep this really relevant for you today and the now and not dance around just certain subjects. So appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.